What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another cooking video because I've been cooking a lot lately, so I thought I'd make some fettuccine alfredo. I'm gonna add some chicken in mine, but you don't have to add chicken if you don't want to. I just have it on hand so it's convenient. But I'm gonna show you guys how to make this. It's really easy. There are ways to mess up for sure. I feel like if you try hard enough you can ruin anything, but I think that it's really simple because it has less than 10 ingredients. You can also substitute a lot of these things. And I'm not gonna make it the traditional way because I know the traditional way has no heavy cream, I believe, but the American way definitely does, and it has a bunch of other stuff in it. So I'll take you over the ingredients that we're gonna use. So behind me on the stove, I've got a pot of water, and I'm gonna make sure it boils before I add some salt and some pasta. I'm gonna show you what pasta I'm using and everything else. So yeah, let's get into it. So I wanted to go over my ingredients. I've got some heavy cream in here. Heavy cream is actually just butter and milk. You can make it on your own too. I did buy it from the store, and then I shook it up so much that it became whipped cream. So I had to like go back in and fix that, but it's totally okay now. It doesn't have to be one similar consistency. You just have to have it like this. I have some chicken here that my mom made earlier. We always have extra chicken in the fridge. I think that's great if you want to make a salad or anything, but now I'm gonna add in my pasta. I do have some butter here that's coming to room temperature because we need to add the butter before we add the cream. Here I've got some pasta. I'm using the fettuccine kind. It's organic. I just got it this morning from Trader Joe's. And same with this cheese I got. You can get a block of cheese and shred it yourself, but I didn't really want to do that, so this is convenient. I also chopped up some garlic, and here's some garlic bread I made earlier that I can eat with my food. But now we're gonna go over here. Our pasta water is gonna boil. It's actually already boiling, so now I'm gonna add some salt. We use pink salt in this house, but I'm sure you can use white salt or whatever kind that you have at home. Now while this is boiling, I'm gonna add the pasta in here, and we're gonna start making our sauce over here. So by the time our pasta is done, our sauce will be done, and then we can combine the both of them and it'll be really easy. So I added some butter to my pan. It's on medium heat. I'm gonna wait for this to melt, and then I'm gonna add my garlic inside. So this is actually optional. A lot of people don't use garlic, but I still do. So I like to use some different things. It's actually okay. Everyone's alfredo can be different. It's by no means traditional at all. So I'm gonna wait for my butter to melt, and I'm gonna add the garlic I've got and then my cream. And I'll walk you through the whole process. You have to make sure your cream doesn't curdle or get ruined, and that's okay. I'll totally show you how to do that. So the butter's almost melted. I'm gonna add my garlic now. You have to make sure you don't burn your garlic. This is super important. I feel like if you are new to this, you should totally turn your stove on to like a lower heat so this doesn't happen. So now we're just gonna add our seasonings too. I decided to go with crushed red pepper. I know this is not traditional at all, but I also don't like the feeling of like really bland food. But I also hate spice, so I add like a very, very little amount, and it kind of does the job. You can add the rest of your seasonings now, so basically salt and pepper or anything you choose to add. I'm gonna add some basil. It's really easy when things are already dried. So now I'm just gonna wait for all of this to like, you know, incorporate into the butter. We're gonna have our pasta that's still cooking on the side, so it's really convenient. I mean, I'm gonna make this in less than 20 minutes. You can do this in a short amount of time for sure. I'm gonna mix this so everything's, you know, incorporated. And now we're gonna add our cream. I've got a lot of it, so I'm gonna add a little bit at a time. Actually, I lied, I added most of it. Well, just mix it together. We're gonna wait for this to come to like a simmer, almost a boil, not a boil though. Because if it boils, then I don't want it to separate and get ruined. It does look weird, I know. We're just gonna wait for it to come together. And it does take time, but in the meantime, your pasta is gonna be cooking, so it's gonna be fine at the very end. So I added the rest of my cream. It's coming up to a little bit of a boil now. So we're gonna add our cheese. This is actually really easy, like very, very fast too, but make sure you keep watching it. I do have the Parmesan cheese from Trader Joe's. This is the kind that you use when you make Alfredo. You can definitely use whatever you want, but this is like, I think we should follow a few rules here and there. So I'm gonna add it, I'm gonna mix it, and I'm gonna keep doing this until it forms like a cheesy type of sauce. So I know I added crushed red pepper before, but I'm also adding black pepper. My pasta's almost done. You want to make sure your pasta's al dente, which means it's got a little bit of a bite at the end, so it's not completely cooked. We're going to finish cooking it in the sauce when we add it. So my pasta's done, so I'm going to add my pasta to my sauce. It's okay if you get some water in your pan, because that water is actually starch, and it's going to help your sauce get even more thicker, even though we already added the cheese. My sauce definitely has a lot more color in it than the original Alfredo sauce, but that's because I added spices. If you want to keep it like to the way that people actually make Alfredo, just add salt and pepper and leave it at that. But I kind of wanted to add more, so just keep adding your pasta, and then we're going to toss it together. We're going to add our chicken in there too. Now I'm going to add my chicken, and we're going to use our tongs and mix this together. The sauce definitely is gonna get really thick. It already has the cheese in it. I would say don't add any more cheese, but you can add it at the end if you want. When it comes to salt, I would say less is better because the cheese already has some salt in it. So we're gonna keep mixing this until it emulsifies, which basically means it gets really silky. So now I'm gonna move this to a bowl because I feel like it's done. It does look really decadent, and I promise you it is. It has a lot of calories, so if you're on a diet, this might not be the one for you. But I feel like, why not? I'm gonna add some chicken in here. I'm gonna add some parsley on top for sure. I do have it somewhere in my pantry, I just have to find it. You can add fresh or fake, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's not about the taste, it's for the looks. You're a great cameraman, Dad. Okay, here's my parsley. I'm gonna grind it on top. It looks so pretty. Okay, so there's that. You can add more Parmesan on top if you want. If you feel like you want to, okay, go for it. And now we're gonna take a fork and we're gonna try it. So here we go. It's very, very hot, so let's all beware. This is very good, you guys. It took me like 15 minutes. It takes 10 minutes minimum because the pasta has to cook, for sure. And then the rest of it, it all comes together because you're doing it at the same time, so it kind of cancels out. Like if you took any kind of math class, you kind of understand. But I 10 out of 10 recommend this recipe. It's super easy. Everyone loves it, like kids and adults. And it doesn't take a lot of things. You probably have everything at home too. And you can change it to whatever you want, add some more spice, take it out, do whatever works for you. So I hope you try making this at home. You can make it with or without chicken for sure. And let me know if you do, because last time I made orange chicken on here and people sent me pictures that they actually made orange chicken and they loved it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.